Hi Cancers, welcome to June 2018. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I had my baby, so that's why these videos are so late. She is asleep right now, so I gotta get through these really quick. I'm so sorry that they aren't going to be very long, but I'm just, yeah, she's an intense one. When she's hungry, she turns into a rage monster, and I just don't even want to have to deal with that. So we're gonna jump right into it. I hope you guys enjoyed your May, especially that full moon in Sagittarius on the 29th. And what that May 29th full moon in Sag was doing was bringing up a lot of issues surrounding our belief systems, our higher education, whether we have a higher education or not, and how we feel about that, our long distance travel, our theories and our perception, our philosophies about life and different cultures. So really, it was quite the expansive full moon. Just because it really kind of made us go inward, but then also outward, if that makes any sense. It kind of allowed us to go inward when it came to our perceptions about the outward world. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys worked through it and did some writing, because that full moon in Sag was excellent for inspired thought and inspired ideas. Okay, so this reading is for June 2018 for Cancers. Cards keep trying to pop out, like thick stack of cards keep trying to pop out, and then they're getting pushed back in. And majority of the cards that I've seen trying to pop out for you guys was all about having fun. So it's almost like you guys want to have some fun. You want to just let loose and enjoy yourself now that the summer is starting, but there's too much underneath the surface where you feel like you kind of have to push it back down, where it's like, ah. And it's funny because I just saw this meme on Instagram, and it was a little girl standing outside with her sunglasses on, and she's beside a fence, and it said, Cancers when they say that they're going to come to the party, and then they're leaving 15 seconds later. So a lot of the times the water dominant signs will want to have a good time, but at the end of the day, especially for Cancers, home and family is where it's at. So it could be time to maybe have some people over instead. Let's see, Cancer. No cards are popping out, which is good. Nothing instantly that your subconscious wants you to know. So the theme of the reading is about a King of Wands type person. So somebody with a lot of fiery energy, which can kind of make you feel a little bit unstable, a little bit unhinged, because this fire energy mixing with your water energy, you feel like you kind of have to be a wet blanket for this person. You feel like you kind of have to put out their energy, and they're also expressing that to you, which is totally frustrating because that's just who you are. This person can be a little bit irrational and very, very impulsive. And for you, it's like, okay, slow it down, think it through, feel it through. Don't just go off impulse. Another thing with this King of Wands person is when it comes to their emotional responses, it's not as deep as yours. They just fire it off and then they're over it. And you're like, well, I still need to process, and unpackage what we just went through, where this person is already over it and you feel like you've missed the opportunity to really do some growth. So you've gone quite inward when it comes to this King of Wands energy. And now there's King of Pentacles as well here. So somebody who's a little bit more grounded, a little more earthly. So maybe going to the King of Wands and seeing how they're so impulsive and so overzealous has transformed you into this hermit mode where you just want to go inward. And now you're really looking at this King of Pentacles who's a little bit more grounded and not as impulsive. And you're like, okay, maybe that's the energy that I need to be more focused on. But you still have no idea what's coming next when it comes to relationships with either of these people. You're kind of at a standstill now. This is really a year, Cancers, where you're going to find that you're starting to see relationships for how they are, and it can be a really rude awakening, because we're starting to see, like, wow, for instance, my dad's a double Scorpio, water sign, just like you guys, and I just found out his childhood history, and I'm like, okay, I forgive you. Like, you were abandoned as a kid. I forgive you now for abandoning me in some ways. So things like that, we're starting to really realize the depth and the intensity of our relationships and why people are how they are. And it's, like I said, it's a rude awakening, because sometimes it feels like you just want to be angry at someone, but you can't. You really can't, because they're also going through their own struggles as well. So at the end of the day, you are feeling really empowered at home with the family, but you know that you need to move on from something, move on with your power. We have a third male energy here, King of Swords. It's like, Cancer, you guys have been through the fire signs, the earth signs, the air signs, and I think what's really needed is a fellow water sign to show you what's up, because all three of these Energies have broken your heart and hurt you in some way, and it is time for that new, young water energy to come in and to really change things around when it comes to your sense of empowerment and to recognize what's truly missing from your home and family. Because right now your thoughts are surrounded by marriage and wanting to get the message out that you want a partnership that's going to really hold you down. Ooh, baby's crying. Shoot. Okay. You want something you want to, oh, okay. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I know you cancers will understand. It's okay, it's okay. Oh no, don't make me stop the recording, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So that's the theme of the reading. Now let's get into the actual reading. Okay? So, positivity, optimism, creativity, that's what's going on this month. That's what you want. You just want to find that happiness. You just want to find that place of solitude and encouragement, that place where you can finally feel free to just do what you need to do to build yourself up in a positive way and to just be more creative. You know, exactly what we were talking about, the cards, the Three of Cups that kept trying to pop out, which is all about having fun and enjoying yourself. Just seems that something keeps pushing you back inward, keeps pushing you into, you know, an introverted state, but you want to get to this place where you can just be free to be extroverted, you know, be free to be more open and optimistic. But the obstacle and the aid to that is the shift that's coming. Something has to fundamentally and drastically change. Something definitely has to change, but that's what's so difficult. That's the obstacle and the aid. Subconsciously, there's another fire sign here. It's probably the same King of Wands, but just showing up in a different aspect. So this fire sign, once again, is all in your subconscious, impeding and affecting this shift that you know that has to happen on a fundamental level, and also impeding your sense of happiness and fulfillment. Okay, so it's time to really recognize this Knight of Wands underneath your surface that's affecting your overall happiness, because you're thinking that you want to create something. You're thinking that you really want to start something positive and really energetic and really nurturing, but this Knight of Wands is really affecting that. You've been giving so much at home with the family, over giving in a way, and they're just not seeing it the way that you want them to see it. Emotionally, you're doing well. Emotionally, you're doing well. It's just trying to get everything lined up, because emotionally you feel fine, but it's like, okay, how do I manifest this inward emotional happiness into my outer world? And the first step is really to drop the people that are no longer serving you, because you can be completely content and happy, but then going into the other people's energies, especially as a water sign, just completely pulls you back down. So as much as you're like, when you're in your own space, you're happy, you're having a great time, you're emotionally fulfilled, and then as soon as you go out into the world or go be with, you know, that extended family or even your immediate family, and that's when you get drained. That's when you feel completely pulled down. So it's really about protecting this energy to get to this, and that's where that fundamental change is going to be so important, because the fundamental change, think about your foundation. A lot of the times your foundation is your family, is your friends, is your immediate environment. So if that's what needs to change, that's not going to be an easy thing, especially with these three, you know, the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords. It's going to be a hard thing to really shift that, but it's going to be so worth it, because family and friends, they're just way too negative for you guys right now. And, you know, you've been doing so many incredible changes in your life. Like I said, you really just want to have a good time, but time to find your new tribe. It is totally time to find a new tribe. Hope and fear is confusion, is that lack of, is that being left in the dark, is that unknowing. So you hope for it, but you fear it as well. And that unknowing comes from stepping outside of your shell. I mentioned this a couple times before with the Cancers. So when you think about your sun sign and what you rule, that crab, when you think about a crab in its shell, a crab does not move into another shell until literally the weight of its first shell is going to smother and kill it. So that's why the Cancers are so close to home and family. They can kind of go so introverted and stay within that shell until they physically cannot take it anymore, emotionally can't take it anymore, and then they need to move on. So as a cardinal sign, you are able to move on and take the initiative, but you kind of need to feel the pressing weight in order to do that. So it is time. It is definitely time. We're finally in a place in our lives and in numerology where it is time. So the first step, Cancer, is to recognize that you really want to create something, you really want to start something, you really want to begin something new that you've created, that you've manifested. That's the first step. And once you recognize that, you're going to see this Queen of Swords person become more prominent in your life. So this person has created something, whether that be a child, whether that be a business, whether that be anything, even a piece of art that you really admire. This Queen of Swords is going to come in and give you that initiative, give you that drive, and give you that passion to move forward. And then sure enough, it's going to bring some new messages coming in that are going to make you feel very positive, that are going to allow you to tap into your emotional health and happiness. And it's going to start that fundamental change, that shift. Okay, but the first step is recognizing, hey, the people in my life, they're not necessarily serving my highest good. So it is time for me to start recognizing who's got to go and who can stay, because you need to make room for this Queen of Swords and this potential Page of Cups to come in and give you exactly what you need when it comes to starting something new, okay? I hope that helps you guys. Like I said, it's a short video, but I'm not even really showing the baby on social media at all. She's got her son in the 12th house, so trying to give her privacy, but gotta have a good work-life balance, right? Speaking of work-life balance, if you want to book a personalized reading with me, my email is below, and as always, I include full astrology and numerology analysis with each reading, so it's pretty inclusive. Love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing June, and I will see you in July. Bye, Cancers.